Hey, thanks everyone for joining our webinar, I Go Where I Want Breach, webinar focused around mobile device security technologies. I am Mike Lutkin, Senior Technical Engineer here at Encompass. I'll be kind of walking through with you some of the best practices for securing mobile devices and making sure that your company stays secure while, allowing some of that stuff to flourish in your environment. All right, first off, BYOD, awesomeness, right? Everybody wants BYOD. It's one of those cool new buzzwords that everybody wants to do. Let's do that. Let's get going, right? We got, there's a bunch of reasons to do it. We got happier employees. They can choose their own hardware. They can come in with a tablet. They can come in with a MacBook. They can come in with a Windows laptop, a phablet, a phone, a Google Glass, anything. I mean, there's so many different things out there that we can now use. Why not leave it up to the employee to choose their own hardware? Seems like it would make sense, right? Plus, there's no duplication of hardware. People are working from home already. Now they got a home laptop and they got a work laptop and they got, sometimes they're using their tablet at home, or sometimes they got an e-reader at home that's not a corporate-owned device. If we do BYOD, we don't have a duplication of hardware. People use their one laptop all the time, or they use their one tablet all the time, and there's no duplication there. Plus, we can save a lot of money for the company. We got less help desk requirements because, we're not rolling out corporate-owned laptops to everyone. People are just bringing their own. And we're saving a lot on hardware costs, sometimes even software costs. There's not a lot of hardware to buy. Sometimes companies will reimburse companies for the hardware that they're buying. Sometimes they'll say, hey, we'll give you $600 towards a laptop and keep it when you're done with it type thing, and we'll go from there. But still, that's a heck of a lot cheaper than the ongoing costs of management and things like that a lot of companies have to pay for. And one thing that people don't realize, a lot of companies are already doing this with phones, telling an employee, hey, go buy your phone. We'll give you $40, $50, $60 a month to have your own phone, and then just manage it yourself. Choose what you want, and we'll go from there. Well, wait a second. A lot of people don't realize this is pretty insecure. People are bringing their own devices in. They're storing corporate data on their personal devices. Whether it's a phone or it's a tablet, or now sometimes even laptops. Now it's corporate-owned intellectual property, documents, things like that are going right on personal devices. And, they're taken home with the employee, and on their personal device. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, we issue people a laptop anyway that they take home with them, and so it's no big deal, they're taking it home anyway. Well, there's a big difference because people's personal data gets intermixed with corporate data then, things like that. There's no security as far as that goes, as far as keeping personal separate from corporate data, where we don't want that intermixed. Going down the road of network security, how about your network at the office? Not just the documents that are going home with the employee, but what's the employee bringing back to your network now? There's viruses, things like that at home. People have Candy Crush, different other games on different devices. That all these are vectors for attacks on personal equipment, and when you bring that personal equipment into a corporate environment, they're bringing that right along with. Especially since a lot of times with BYOD, there's no centrally managed antivirus or patching, so devices are much more vulnerable to viruses, patching, things like that, because a lot of times people aren't as good about keeping up with security on their home devices as they are, as corporations are in their environment. And again, we talked about it, personal data, now that's intermixed with corporate data, and that line starts to get blurred about I created this document on my personal laptop, but did I upload it to the company SharePoint site? Did I leave it on Dropbox? Did I put it on Box.net? Or Box.com? Where is that stored? Is it okay if I put it on my home storage, I got a little 2 terabyte Western Digital at home, is that okay if I put it there? Now suddenly there's data everywhere. And plus, now all of a sudden, and this is the big thing that's really kind of hitting the fan right now, and a lot of people aren't necessarily realizing it. If you lose your phone or tablet or whatever, and corporate policy, of course, is to wipe the device so that if somebody finds it, corporate documents, things like that, aren't going to get out into the world. Well, what if you misplace it? What if it's in your pants from yesterday and you forget to take it out or whatever, and now it's hanging in your closet, but you're like, I can't find my phone. Well, corporate policy, wipe the phone. All of a sudden you put those pants on tomorrow and you're like, oh, well, here's my phone, I found it, great. Well, all the data's gone. Your personal data's gone, corporate data's gone, your phone numbers, passwords, all that stuff is gone because it had to be wiped for corporate policy. Well, that's no good. I mean, a lot of people don't back up their personal stuff on phones, things like that. iCloud is out there and a couple other products, but a lot of people don't even have that set up. It's something like 65 or 70% of people have iCloud set up. That's 30% of people that aren't backing up a lot of their data. So if that gets wiped, it's gone. Now, here we have mobile device management. This is what we're leading towards here, obviously. This is our white knight. This is how we allow BYOD, but still keep it secure. We're gonna do things like keep our corporate data secure and separate from personal data. The product that we sell here at Encompass is Aruba ClearPass. It's their mobile device management solution, as well as they do onboarding and authentication and things like that with it as well. But it's a very, very great product because they have things like their Workspace app, which keeps personal and corporate data completely separate. Absolutely, there's no cross between them unless you want that to be. It installs as a separate app on your phone, and inside that app are your company apps. Basically, you got a web browser in there, you got a SharePoint application in there, you got your email application in there. That's completely separate from all the data that's stored on the phone. And also, you can define and enforce policy. You can say, hey, let's force people to have updated patches, have them have an antivirus, have maybe you can copy and paste data into or out of that corporate environment. Maybe you can't. Maybe we don't allow that. Maybe that's its own environment and you can't do anything with that, versus your own phone. Maybe you want to say you have to reset your password every 90 days, or you have to have a password on the device to unlock it. Now you can do things like that. You can say, hey, you need to have this certificate on your phone and this password in order to connect to the VPN or to get on the wireless, things like that. And hand in hand with that goes provisioning. That's one of the greatest things about mobile device management is not just the security of it, because you can enforce secure elements, things like that, but actually the provisioning as well. You can have somebody connect to your, they bring their own device in, and you just say, hey, go to this website, log in, and your device will be provisioned. That puts certificates on the phone for, phone or tablet or laptop, whatever you want. That'll put certificates on there for connecting to the corporate wireless or connecting to the VPN, things like that. It'll automatically provision security policies around those devices to say, hey, this is maybe a phone or a tablet or a laptop. You get specific policies applied to you based on what type of device it is or who it is, or provisioning things like putting apps on the phone that people, making life easier for people, putting other data on the phone for you, adding a secure password app so that people aren't reusing the same passwords and storing them in an insecure manner, things like that. And along with that, because the corporate environment on your phone then is a completely separate thing, your personal data is completely safe. You can bring your phone in and you can say, hey, I got my personal stuff here, I got my corporate stuff here, and if, for instance, you leave the company, that's another big thing. You leave the company, or you lose your phone but find it back, those types of things. They can pull that corporate data off of there, not necessarily lose it, not wipe it off of there, but pull it off of there. But your personal data is all safe yet. That's the biggest thing, is that we're getting into this mode where it's not just enough to be secure and provide that secure connection. Now we need to make sure that the quality of life is there for employees as well. If they leave the company or something like that, we're not just going to wipe their phone, their personal pictures, documents, things like that off the phone, along with everything else that they took from the company. So it's that quality of life, it's that making life better scenario. And with that, we're doing all of this, of course, so this doesn't happen to you. Does anybody have any questions? We're going to open up or unmute everyone now, and if you have questions, just shout them out. Otherwise, we'll also take questions on the chat. All right. Well, thanks everybody for attending. It's appreciated. We'll talk to you later. Again, if you have any questions or would like to sit down and have a consultation with either Mike or I, we can definitely do that. Shoot us an email, give us a call, things like that. This is the last webinar in our 6-webinar series on security policy and procedure development and implementation. Again, we're always around for questions and comments. Thanks.
What is this feeling that's put you in your place?